Breaking news in the race for California governor. Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom officially advances to the November general election. He will face Republican John Cox, who's endorsed by President Trump. The CBS 2 News team is here as we watch the results come in. And here are the latest numbers for you. Gavin Newsom has 34% of the vote. That's with 34% of the precincts reporting. John Cox has 26%. And here's what they had to say in just the last hour.
In politics today, everyone would agree with this, there's too much anger. Instead, we offered answers. We like to call it resistance with results. But one thing is clear, this is not a victory speech. As much as I want to express my appreciation to all of you individually, I keep hearing the voice of my late mom, Tessa. You know, she was a single mom. She worked multiple jobs by raising 2 kids on her own. One with severe dyslexia, and if you can believe it, an acute fear of public speaking. But she never gave up on me, and more importantly, she never stopped instilling in me a sense of work ethic, social responsibility, and perhaps most impactful of all, an empathy for others.
Hello, California. Are we ready for a Republican governor? Yes. We put a businessman in the White House. Let's put a businessman in the governor's mansion, huh? Yes. You know, the last 6 weeks, the special interest money, the corruptive nature of that was on full display for all Californians. Millions of dollars from special interest billionaires, they were spent on pretty nasty, misleading commercials. And they attacked our campaign, and I'm happy to tell you they failed, didn't they? Yes.
Well, our reporters are covering all the major races in this open primary. We begin with CBS 2's Tom Wade. He's live in downtown L.A. at Antonio Villaraigosa headquarters. And Tom, he's not happy about a big glitch with the voting rolls tonight.
Yeah, huge glitch, Pat, and we'll get to that in just a second here. But right now, Villaraigosa is giving his concession speech. Let's take a live look and listen in.
About the founding fathers. Talked about all men are created equal, but they didn't mean black men. They didn't mean Native Americans. They didn't mean women. They didn't even mean white men who didn't own property. They just meant them. But their ideas resonated in our country and inspired us about what the world could be like. And ever since then, we've been fighting for that America. For an America where we are all created equal. And since I was a little boy, I understood that. And Obama came and he reaffirmed that like Lincoln did before him, and Teddy Roosevelt and Franklin Roosevelt, and great leaders who understood that a great country has to be a country that lifts everybody up. I didn't need to read a speech tonight. Great people wrote it, and most of them have worked for me.
Know that Antonio Villaraigosa kind of doing his swan song here. Of course, the 2-term mayor, this has to be a bittersweet moment, mostly bitter, obviously, saying goodbye in some ways to his public service here in L.A. He also has a big challenge out there, as Pat mentioned off the top, the 120,000 or so votes that may not have been able to, or voters who may not be able to vote because their names were not on the rolls today. So that's a big issue. That's in L.A. County. And here we are with Antonio Villaraigosa, who, you know, has to be a tough time. This is his hometown, and he was hoping that L.A. County would bring him over the edge. It did not work out. Let's go back to the studio, Pat.
All right, Tom. Well, as Ziv Yaroslavsky said earlier, this may not have been his time. But let's take a live look at the L.A. Registrar's office right now, where they are still counting votes, including all of those provisional votes from people whose names were left off the voting list today. That's what Antonio Villaraigosa was talking about, as well as our Tom Wade trying to explain that. There were major polling problems across L.A. County today. CBS 2's Rachel Kim is live in Monrovia to explain. Rachel.
Yeah, Pat, LA County officials say 1 out of every 3 polling places had missing names of registered voters. We spoke with one voter here in Monrovia tonight who said his whole family was left out.
Really? Are you kidding? I mean, it was just a lot of disbelief.
That was Stephen McCarthy's reaction when he, his wife, and daughter went to their polling place in Monrovia and found out their names were not on the voter registration rolls.
In fact, when I looked at the voter list outside, there was only one name on this street that was on the list.
The LA County Registrar of Voters revealed that almost 119,000 voters disappeared from the rolls today. The registrar said they had a random issue with the print job that ran the paper rosters.
Especially in today's political climate, there are a lot of people who are going to assume the worst. Republicans are going to think that they got dropped on purpose, and Democrats are going to think the same.
Voters whose names did not appear on the roster were given provisional ballots. The registrar assured them that it wouldn't affect their status as a registered voter and that their vote will count.
We're going to be able to demonstrate to them that their votes were counted and included in those final returns. And in a time when people are concerned about the security of the election and we have some targeted contests, I certainly understand the concern associated with that.
Now, even celebrities experience this problem, too. Actor Henry Winkler, better known as the Fonz, tweeted, "My name was left off the polling registry today in Los Angeles." Now, voting officials assure voters that this will be resolved for November. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Rachel, we certainly hope so. Now, let's look at the latest results for the 48th district in Orange County. Here are the results so far. Republican incumbent Dana Rohrabacher is in the lead, clearly with 30% of the vote. Democrat Hans Kierstead follows him. Republican Scott Baugh and Democrat Harley Ruda trail behind. Let's go now to CBS 2 Orange County reporter Stacey Butler. She is live at Dana Rohrabacher's headquarters in Costa Mesa, where he just addressed a very enthusiastic crowd of supporters. Stacey?
Oh, Pat, that's right. The crowds have thinned out, but they're still hanging out here at GOP headquarters, reveling in what they're considering a victory tonight. Dana Rohrabacher took to the stage and said that he finally can put to rest any rumors or suspicions that Orange County, his 48th district, was about to go blue.
How many times do we have to hear, oh, there's a blue wave and it's going to knock us all down? Well, the blue wave didn't hit. And you know what we've got instead? The tide has turned. America is winning against these left-wing fanatics who are in charge of our government.
And it looks like Congressman Dana Rohrabacher is going to continue his time in Congress. 30 years he's been there. Now, the next contender looks like it's stem cell biologist Hans Kierstead. He apparently is going to be the second top vote getter, but it's too soon to tell. Scott Baugh, a Republican contender, is also just right below that. So it's still a lot of questions tonight. We don't know exactly where this is going to end up, but back here live, at least Rohrabacher's supporters here aren't questioning the fact that their congressman will remain in his 48th congressional district seat. Pat?
All right, thanks for that, Stacey. And as usual, our expert, Dave Bryan, is here. And Dave, there are two other big congressional races tonight.
There are actually more than two, but these are the best of the bunch right now, Pat. There are several Southern California congressional districts that could have a major impact on the control of the House of Representatives next year. And we've got the latest numbers in a couple of those districts. First of all, the 39th district includes Yorba Linda, Diamond Bar, and Buena Park. It has been represented by Republican Congressman Ed Royce, but he's retiring and the Democrats would like to move in. Here now are the latest numbers in that district, and you can see that young Kim has been leading from the very start, and she's still ahead with about a third of the votes now counted. She has a decent lead. Running second now, Democrat Gil Cisneros, who spent millions of dollars on his campaign, another Republican, Phil Liberatore, and another Democrat, Andy Thorburn. He's running fourth. He, too, spent millions on his campaign as well. And the 49th district, this is southern Orange County and part of San Diego County. It's Republican Darrell Issa's old seat. Here are the top two. Republican Diane Harkey was endorsed by Congressman Issa, who barely held on himself to the seat 2 years ago, and he's now retiring. Then Democrat Mike Levin is currently in second place with 17% of the vote. We'll continue to report results on all the congressional races throughout the night on our website, cbsla.com. Pat, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Dave. And longtime Democrat Dianne Feinstein easily cruises into the November runoff. State Senate President Kevin DeLeon and Republican James Bradley are still duking it out to be her challenger. Right now, DeLeon is in the lead. We will have continuing election coverage on our ticker and ahead in this newscast, including a live report on the 25th Congressional District. And yes, also still ahead, a soldier leads police on a wild tank chase. Plus, Kate Spade's sister reveals brand new details tonight about what may have led to the designer's tragic death.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Garth Kemp. Coming up, say about the weather.
And tonight on The Late Show, President Bill Clinton talks to Stephen Colbert about the new controversy he's facing after his recent comments on the Monica Lewinsky scandal.